Lhokseumawe. Who will be speaking first? Is it going to be Kevin or Teguh? Kevin. Oke, nggak, ini cuma mau ngecek speaker dulu. Oh iya, ini mau cek speaker aja dulu. Siapa? Teguh. Kevin ya. Oke. Next one kalau next untuk Christian atau Marcela? Christian ya, thank you. Next untuk terbuka, Tasya atau Vanessa? Vanessa, thank you. Terakhir, dia Lulu atau Nurul? Lulu ya. Check. Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to the 5th round of NUDC 2024. Yay! So in this room, we're going to have a battle between Politeknik Negeri Lhokseumawe as opening government and Negeri Manado as opening opposition, Terbuka as closing government, and Negeri Yogyakarta as closing opposition. So my name is Chia. I'll be the chair judge for this round. Yeah, and okay, so without further ado, I'd like to call upon Kevin to start the debate. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this house prefers internship or fellowship over written exams or capstone projects as the end of semester evaluation method of university. All right, so for Kevin, you may start here.
So,
for the time, I'll give you a signal like this till 7. Okay, is it okay? Yeah, okay ya. For the time signal, because the timer is there. Yeah, gimana? The bell is there, but the bell is only at 1 and 6, right? So for 2nd minute, 3rd minute, 4th minute, 5th minute, I'll just point like this. Okay? Is it okay? All right.
okay, I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this house prefers internship or fellowship over written exams or capstone project as the end of semester evaluation method for universities. Well, first thing first, I'm as the opening government will give to you the characterization of each and every keywords that has been given to us here. And my second speaker will bring to you the extension and another cases that will be bring to by him. First thing first, I will give to you the characterization itself, ladies and gentlemen. First thing first, what is a university student? University students, besides they are there to gain knowledge, university student is prepared, they are being prepared to be able to function and work effectively according to their own majors in the working fields in the future, ladies and gentlemen. Which is why we believe that this internship is better rather than just written projects. Why? I will explain to you later in my argument. Next thing I would like to point out is that internship. What is internship? It is when students directly involved in the process of functioning and or working in the system accordingly and effectively. That rather than only theoretically learning from the books or from their lecturers, they get the experience they needed on how to execute things properly. For example, as an engineering student, you have to be able to operate certain machines. As a medical student, you have to know what to do when something is happening. As a maritime majors, you have to know what you have to do when certain things come into play, ladies and gentlemen. This experience will be able to be gained by the student itself from internships. Same goes as fellowship, where the difference is that you are placed somewhere in linear with your majors to study or to exchange the knowledge between those instances, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the written exams that is explained is just your everyday exams given to you by your lecturers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why is this internship or fellowship is better as a method to evaluate how students function in the university at the end of the semester? Well, for uni students, especially for maths and engineering students, not only they are required to know the theory of how to do something, the theory of how things come into play, they also need to know how to do it, how to perfectly execute it accordingly. For example, I give to you Polytechnic. The students who learn in Polytechnics, not only they receive enough theoretical learning, they also receive an internship which is mandatory for them to function, to know how things in the field actually works. Knowledge and practice should be 50-50, so that in the end, in the working fields, students are prepared on what to come, on what will happen when things are happening. They need to be prepared on the working fields. Now, they also need to know how do things work, and this comes from experience. How do they gain experience, ladies and gentlemen? They hasn't finished their own majors yet. Where will they find these majors? Where will they find this experience, ladies and gentlemen? This experience, they will find it when they enter internship or fellowship. This program gives to them the experience they need when they eventually join the society once again, when they eventually join the working field once again. Now, and as we know that most of the working fields require for people to have a certain degree of experience, this will prepare them even better to actually achieving a job later on. Now, how do they exactly gain experience in the internship itself, ladies and gentlemen? The student itself gain experience by watching, by learning, and by asking their mentor on how things actually works in the field. How is it actually functioning? And this experience, as I said to you before, is important for them to actually get a job later on. Now, why thus written exam and the capstone project doesn't exceed the internship programs? First thing first, written exam. There are cheating possibility that will happen when those exams are being done. Students can cheat, and how will you ensure that those students won't cheat at all, ladies and gentlemen? And research or those capstones project is not effective enough, nor is it affecting enough people. What happened after they done their research? Those research are evaluated by the lecturers, and then what happened next? Those research is only put to the library. Nobody will read it ever again, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe for the next generation, but a small change. But when they are getting an internship as a method of evaluation, the institution itself will know how much their students has improved by their skills, by their experience from the reports that has been given to them by this internship programs, ladies and gentlemen, which is why we do believe that it is even more effective for students to be evaluated at the end of the semester by their internship or fellowship program, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm as the OG proudly present, and the extension will be given to us by my second speaker. Thank you.
All right, I thank the Prime Minister for the speech. Next, I call upon the Leader of Opposition. Here.
Am I audible?
Yep, audible.
Okay, perfect.
But can you speak louder?
Am I audible?
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Now then. Okay, you may refer to me as opening opposition, OO, whatever you prefer. And I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, notice, Judge, how OG doesn't give us a really explicit urgency that they're trying to solve, why this motion exists in the first place, and what's the problem that they want to solve. But regardless, I will try to give them their own problems, but regardless of the problems that they are trying to solve, I will try to prove to you that the status quo already solved the problems, and this proposal, not proposal, but this method of doing internships or fellowships could only bring more harm to many actors rather than benefits. First of all, they're talking about, imagine a medical student having to learn how to do this and all that in order to work in society. Do know that they are still a student, although they are in the end of the semester. They haven't ever done this, and they are not sure if they can do it in the first place. And suddenly, they are being forced to be presented in a situation of a medical situation, and then suddenly, how can you expect that this student will guarantee a solution? A result through this internship that he's doing, that they are doing, regardless of what the medical student does in their field of job. And about the exam cheating and whatnot, remember that the characterization of at the end of the exam at the end of the semester is not that loose. Universities are being demanded to be really strict with their regulations of how they handle their last semester exam. This is last semester exam. This is just not any other exam like a normal exam, a day-to-day exam, a weekly exam, but this is a last exam that all of the offline exam is being regulated and being watched by many supervisors and whatnot to make sure that people don't cheat. So cheating does not exist on our side because this is the characterization of exam in the end of semester in universities. And imagine if this applies, that this house would apply internship and fellowships over written exam. Imagine the students, I'm gonna say the vulnerable actor, the students who still struggles with written exam. How can they make result in internship or practical thingy when they don't even have the capability or being what do you call this? Being smooth in doing their proposal exam, their written exam. They are struggling. They are already struggling with that. Imagine having to do that, but practical. This is more difficult. Now then, the OG doesn't explain on how then they can ensure that every student can make a result out of this, a positive result, may I remind you, because if they bring a negative result, remember this is internship or fellowships, that they have to go to corporation, organization, and whatnot, and they have a name that they want to protect the university's name. How can they ensure that every and each one single university students to have a good result? But rather than that, let's see. Why is exam is better than this internship and fellowship? Because exam is a final check of this written exam. This written exam is a final check of what they have learned throughout their experience in the university. That's why this exam exists, to test all the foundation that they receive before they are released, not released immediately to the society to work. They need to test them if they are qualified or not. And I would ask accessibility to the government side of the house, that we question, does projects or jobs and corporation can provide all the free slots? I mean, like all the free slots, all the free jobs, all the free projects for all the many universities around university students around the globe to participate, because each generation have a lot of people who wants to be done with their universities, and there are too much for corporation to take one of them. And mind you that corporation only are nitpicking to the students that are achievable or have good achievement and whatnot. How about the students that doesn't have a good achievements? Maybe the corporation is thinking twice that, do they want this? Is the student gonna bring us a good result? That's why accessibility does not happen on our side. Accessibility happens on our side because exam happens to any university, and university have exam that they can just do themselves without having to cooperate with another internships and whatnot. Yes, OGPOI.
If they aren't capable enough in exam, how will you ensure they will function in the working fields even though they are learning years on end in their majors? How will you ensure they will function properly?
Then they will fail. Like I told you, if they can't do exam, how can they do practical things? Remember that. Exam is already a more easier thing, more basic thing than to do practical thing. And you're already sending them to do practical stuff and demand a result from them. That is just delusionality, if you ask me. Now then, also why this is bad is because, like I said before, sometimes this internship and fellowship and whatnot sometimes demands too much from students that have different capabilities, different abilities, and different accessibilities. Like for example, let's say internship. Internship requires student to go somewhere else. And not all internship will pay their student because it's up to the university and the corporation if the corporation wants to pay the intern. But what if they don't pay the intern? Then the intern have to pay their living costs themselves in another place, in another environment that they don't know. Now then, for the rich or for those who are privileged, this is accessible. They can do it. But what about those who are underprivileged that cannot pay for their own living costs in another environment? They don't answer that. They give us how this can be accessibility, but in our side, accessibility happens because exam happens everywhere. So that's why I want to remind you that exam is more beneficial and the status quo already fixes itself. How does the status quo fix itself? Because let's say that if you really want internship experience and whatnot, we already have programs, for example, but around the globe, I believe they exist. But in Indonesia, we have MSIB and we have PMM, we have Wisma. All of that in the status quo already exists. The students who are capable and already confident that they want to try out things, they can do so and they can try to go into these programs and try to get their experience. That's why they can get the experience that the OG want to challenge on. How do they get experience? This is how students get experience. And to those students who are not ready, then just focus on the university, just focus on your own university because you need to build your foundation and need to rebuild your knowledge so that you can function properly in the society and not just suddenly being thrown out to the practical exams and not having any results because you are struggling with your foundation. That's why I, as the opponent opposition, oppose this motion. Thank you very much.
All right, I thank the leader of opposition for his speech. Next, I call upon Deputy Prime Minister. Here.
Am I audible?
Yep, you're audible.
So in this debate, we discussed about the internship and fellowships would be the evaluation method for university students rather than written exams or capstone projects. So judges, before I start my speech, I will explain to you how it may be applicable and how it could be effective as an evaluation process and how it could be better than usual exams like written exams or capstone projects. But before that, I would give some rebuttal points for the opposing oppositions. They told us that when students in the internship or in the fellowships are being forced to do it without knowing what they are doing because it's their first experience, understands that we should understand that there is a differences between internships and work in a real work. I mean, like a real employee of the corporation or something like that. In the internship, there will be a mentor that supervising the students during the internship. Instead of in the real work, there is no mentor. So you do it all of it yourself. So what do you think? Which one is better? Your first experience with mentor, or directly you dive into the world, the field of work by yourself without knowing what you are doing. So in our side, we believe that it's better if your first experience is with a mentor. And then about the cheating, They told us that university system is already try to manage it and already can manage it, but there's still going to be a probability of cheating. So prevention is something that we want by applying this internship or fellowship as an evaluation process. And then the accessibility. They asked us about the accessibility. The thing that we should understand that internship or fellowship in this case, it's not going to be always in the, in a corporation or in a company or somewhere else. It could be in their own university, which I will explain later. Also about the, you should understand that there's a difference between program and SEB or others programs like MSEB with the end of evaluation semester that we're talking about in this motion that I will explain later in my argument. So, how it might be applicable and how it might be applicable, how it could be effective as an evaluation process, and how it will be better than usual exams. The thing that we should understand is the evaluation process usually held on the end of the semester. Let's say that 2 weeks before the end of the semester, right? We believe that these 2 weeks in the last of the semester is more than enough to do an evaluation. How? Of course, we need a collaborations between the institutions, the company, and also the other institutions to do an evaluation in the industry. And every semester, the mechanism is every semester in the collaborations between the institutions and the company or corporations, or with the institution itself, there will be a part of projects that's already prepared to given to the student to finish. So it's not going to be always outside the outside the university. It could be in the university. It could be in the, for example, like for engineering student, it could be in the university laboratory, or for the economic student, it could be in the administration office of the university. So it's not going to be always somewhere over the sea, somewhere abroad. No, ladies and gentlemen. So it's accessible for everyone. And then it's also the evaluation or the internship or fellowship is also related to the what student already learned during the semester. For example, like what I already said, economic student given the real projects, or they should make, for example, like the financial report, or for civil engineering, they could be in their own university lab. They could ask to read the engineering drawings and turn it into something like that. So who would score them then? There is two kind of people that would score them. One is from the institutions and then from the company itself, and it would be the final score for the semester. It might seem like the conversion system from MSEB program or PMM program, but what makes it different? What they need to do is in our world, what they need to do is what they already learned for only a semester, ladies and gentlemen. It's different with the like MSEB program that maybe you would do an internship after 4th or 6th semester learn in the university. So if we do this internship at the end of every semester, it could evaluate every fundamental things that we as a student already learned in that semester. So it would be efficient and effective. Why? It's efficient. You don't need to to ask the lecturer to prepare the exams questions, and then after that review all of the paper, which need a bunch of time. So with this kind of method, we save time and energy. We help the professor, and we also could help the professors doing their research, and it could be also a part of a fellowship or internship. And it's also help us to solve related to some environmental issues like using of paper or something like that. It also could be effective because student would know how something actually works, and not only know the theory, ladies and gentlemen. It also would reduce the probability of cheating, like what my first speaker already said. They take the real problem and should solve with a real solution. Of course, like what I said, it would be a mentor who assess them during the internship or the fellowship. But it's different with you looking at your friend's paper or ask your friends to do your work, something like Jokia, etc. So it rise the comprehension of the student and the honesty of the evaluation process. And so in our side, we prioritize the holistic and the basic value of education itself. There is three actors that could get a benefit in this context. First is students, second company, and then the university. Student, they would really know how the things work in the field. They also got a connections in the company that they are doing an internship and can portray in the future where they will go to pursue their career and after the university. It would solve the unemployed problem among the fresh graduates that we already found in the status quo. And then for the university, they will gain more collaborations and better evaluations to evaluate curriculum on their student anyway. Because I already said that the person that would do evaluation is not only a university but also the company. So the company would give an evaluation for the university, so the university can evaluate their curriculum afterwards. And then for the company, they would easily get a worker that they need because they could supervision a bunch of students, ladies and gentlemen, each semester. So at the end of the day, when the students that they want finish the study, they could directly hire them to work in his company. So we brought us the opening government. Thank you.
All right, I thank the Deputy Prime Minister for the speech. To close the opening half of the debate, I call upon the Deputy Leader of Opposition, here.
This house prefer internship or fellowship over written exams or capstone projects as the end of semester evaluation method for university students. A few response to the opening government. Just because they are supervisors doesn't mean you can always have a good result. What if you don't get a good result? Not only the students will fail, the university name and reputation is damaged. And supervisors could not step in as they are only making sure they are safe. It's up to the students with their own results. So it's more burden for the university. Opening government also doesn't answer how all this corporation or institution will have enough slots for massive amount of students. We already told you in status quo already have internship program that's designed for those who are ready to do so. So we already have experience that they want to champion. They also did not answer how to save the students who are not ready. They also continue to fight about cheating. That means it's the university that to have to strengthen their exam method. It's not really applicable if suddenly everyone in each semester to go out and have internship. Because even if you say there will be some internship within the university, and you also said that every semester, you also said that it's every semester. Let's assume that this semester have 10,000 students, and the third semester have also 10,000 students. How are we going to cater to that? And there is not only one university all over the world, right? That's why we said that it is too massive to do this, and we couldn't really afford to have every student have this internship because there's just not enough slots. Later, sure, you had said that university students having to prepare themselves for their work field, but we all can see in real life that a lot of them are struggling in classroom, even in classroom, they are already struggling. How about when they are going to internship? Will it really be suitable? And that is why we said that there are some students that are not exactly ready for this internship, but if they are being forced into doing an internship because it is the end semester exam, then if they go out to other institutions or other corporations, it's going to temper the university's name because they would like, oh, so this university actually has a bad quality. Maybe not all of them would say that, but there will be some high possibility that people will assume that. Ladies and gentlemen, I will remind you of 3 things that actually my first speaker had said. It is, 1, the chances of getting into internship will already be slim because, again, the slots will not necessarily be enough to cater to everyone. And how about the universities that is labeled as low quality? We cannot assume that every university has like this incredible accreditation, right? There are still some universities that are labeled as B grade or low quality. And what about the students? If you want to implement this, that every semester these students have to go into internship, but these students came from these universities because they apparently can only afford that, but they want to go to college. It would be hard for them to get in because their university themselves already had a kind of low reputation. And then that would lead to the next thing that I would remind everyone here, that there is already a bias to the ones that already has a CV. We cannot deny that. The reason internship and this collaboration exists because we want to thicken our CV. And why do we need this CV? Of course, they would say like, oh, it's work experience and the institution or the work field that we want to get into would accept us. But then, not all of the students already have a good CV from the beginning. So that basically just going to make the ones with the high amount of CV could enter to the best institution or corporation to thicken even more of their CV. Would that actually be fair if we implement this everyone has to go to internship? Of course not, because again, everyone is not ready for this. And then, of course, the next thing, the university's name. Because if these students messed up, not only their own name would be messed up, the university's name would be messed up. Sure, you may say that, the corporation could just give an evaluation to the university. But again, it already tempers their reputation in the first place. So there will be high chances that in the next semester, they will deny the access. That is all I have to say. Proud to oppose.
I thank the deputy leader of opposition for his speech. Yep. To open the closing half of the debate, I call upon the government member here.
Okay, am I audible?
Yep, you're audible.
Okay, I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. First thing first, I would like to do rebuttal for the whole opposition. They fail to realize that they said that uni student will firstly pay for internship. They forget that sometimes even students also need to pay for exam and even to release capstone project like journal, and it's not really cheap to get into the journal, and there are also a parameter of standard, and the university only accept the higher pay for the standard for the journal itself. And also, they need to pay for exam. For example, they can go to exam of capstone project and can graduate because they haven't paid for the semester or cannot pay for the releasing the journal. Some even drop out. So the harm is greater with the Raiden and capstone project. On the other hand, on our side, we will be tackle this by giving mechanism and provide that how the students will need to not worry about money, because we will provide mechanism on how we will be giving allowance for student, and the money rather than the money is waiting for paper and exam. And students also will get paid by our own mechanism. Second of all, they said how company will accommodate exactly what our mechanism will provide, that we will cooperate with the company itself to accommodate this. They say about struggling in classroom. Struggling in classroom, does that mean the university student will struggle in job area? If they struggle in class, that means the curriculum and exam by the opposition is bad. And this is a generalization for you, the student. So it is better to struggle in preparation job rather than a struggle and being forced in exam. Many students trigger warning, do harm or suicide pressure by the exam. And also they said about bias for CV. Exactly why internship and fellowship is good to get the bias for CV, because uni students already know the competitiveness for job preparation, and this fellowship internship serve the purpose for them to stand up, shining in the bias for CP. Second of all, I would like to do an extension for the opening government and why they cannot win this debate. First thing first, they don't give clear urgency and clear stand. We, on the other hand, we provide urgency and stand. We want to uphold the value of university students and also prepare them to get the job that they deserve. Second of all, they also didn't really provide clear mechanism. We will provide a control mechanism. First thing first, we will rearrange the curriculum to accommodate the intern and fellowship. Second of all, we will be partnering with company and organization to allocate students with also many students that the opposition try to. We will accommodate them one by one. Thirdly, the students will be in intern or fellowship for about 3 until 6 months during the last semester. Fourthly, the students will get evaluation and parameter that can evaluate by company or fellowship. Then the result of it will get to the uni, and also they get score, and everyone will pass. Students will also get paid, get letter of recommendation for job that they will be helping. They will also get a lot of connection rather than sitting in an exam pressure by some action that will later get abandoned. And also, first thing first, and also why the writing exam is such a problem, because not many students capable to do that. You said that if they struggle in exam, that's mean that, and also the opposition cannot, the exam take research for like wasting the paper and wasting a lot of money on the exam. And also the opposition really wants to say, oh, there's no cheating, but there's no way you can prevent cheating, especially for writing exam. For capstone and essay, with the rise of AI, there's a lot of plagiarism and the research get abandoned. Students will also compare themselves for their score. Rather than for this type of internship, students will get accommodated for their own. And then welcome to my argument. First thing first, we talk about status quo. In Indonesia, many fresh graduates struggle to get jobs as they don't have enough experience. Not to mention, in status quo Indonesia, there are many requirements for fresh graduates, such as 1 until 2 year or experience that includes internship or fellowship. In ideal world, we want our most vulnerable actor, which is the university student, to get prepared and get job after graduation. After all, that's what they want to achieve. Imagine being a university student that is hopelessly wants to graduate, but they cannot graduate because they can't pass the exam. And then after they pass the exam, they need to reapply again for each semester. They cannot even have a job experience. And why the argument of the opposition is bad? Because they can guarantee no cheating, and there's also no mechanism to prevent it. What would happen? Yes, please.
How can you ensure partnership with corporation will happen to each and all university? Because corporation also have interest to take students from good quality university rather than the not so good one.
Okay, first thing first, we would like to clarify our mechanism is that we will, and also you forget to mention that some company also have a lot of brands on etc. We will also prevent this, but also making the student itself choose, and we will also not discriminate all the students, and because we will do a lot of researching and partnership for the student. And then why, even if their argument is good, they still can place a burden in comparison on how writing and capstone will benefit and guarantee job and also no cheating. Why our argument align with ideology ideal world, the internship and fellowship can have preparation and experience. Uni students are desperate and have pressure by parents and society or themselves to get a good job after preparation. And this internship, especially Indonesian students with 1 or year experience after their graduation, will provide this. Example, by having intern and fellowship experience, they can put up the standard for 1 year or 2 year experience rather than writing and passing an exam. Second of all, on how they are still, my argument is that they are still young, and internship and fellowship provide the chance, and they also have the right to do this because they also paid the university. Not also that, in our mechanism, they will also get paid. The uni student, usually young people that still inexperienced, they're still young to explore the world. And this type of mechanism, and why we prefer it, is that the internship and fellowship is proven success. Just like the opening government said, like Politeknik and also in diploma, they get a greater success because they get an experience. Now this is why the uni student like Sarjana needs to go, because there's a lot of them that is struggling in job application and also fresh graduate because they cannot provide more experience, and also they're not ready for a job. Maybe the opposition may agree, oh, but what if they struggle? It is better to struggle in job preparation rather than struggle in classroom and then abandoning the written exam and abandoning the research paper or journal that you get made by AI. And we also, for example, the MBKM Merdeka, just like our mechanism, will also provide an allowance, and so and instead of be straight for final exam, they will be focused on job preparation. So the experience from internship and fellowship will always be there for CV or LinkedIn. It will always be there, rather than write an exam that they may forget, rather than they are SKS ngebut semalam, rather than like that they forget. They only learn the knowledge for the exam, rather than just like the internship and fellowship, they really learn on offline, they learn also on online, because the experience will also be for CV forever and ever. That's why we brought to purpose.
I thank the government member for the speech. Next, I call upon the up member here.
Am I audible? No. Am I audible?
Yep, you're audible.
Okay, wait. Can arrange my paper. Starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. If this mechanization is good, Indonesia or other country must already apply this mechanization, right? But in fact, that we not using this mechanism, meaning that there are a big problem with this mechanism. We will preview later. So we, as the closing government, we oppose the use of internship or fellowship as the substitute for exam or capstone project as the evaluation method in the end of the semester. So it means that if you use it in every semester of in university, every students will need to doing internship, where this does not make sense at all. Okay, before that, I'm gonna rebuttal to OO and also CG at the same time because their case is kind of similar. They say mainly it will give them more experience. Yeah, I'll say what? First, there is in exam or in exam question, there's already question that asks about the application, right? So if you want them to getting experience for solving something, you can do this. Or there's essay or capstone project where the lecturer give you a task to manipulate data or something. You're getting experience from this, right? Even in university, there's also program PPL or magang where you already allocated time, especially for doing internship, right? Or you also, if you're not enough with that, we're also having like magang merdeka, FBKM, etc. Or if you need like a direct practice with the people in the industry, there is merdeka praktisi mengajar. So I think that there's no urgency for us to use this internship or fellowship as the evaluation method if you only reach for more experience, because this experience is already there, right? So it will this benefit will tackle the benefit of those two things. So we're gonna offer them. Okay, so let's go into my argument. First, distinction with the OO. If the OO focus on talking mainly about the harm and the practicality of this, we will having the principal analysis why this mechanism is not making sense and harming the goals of education itself. Okay, first, argument, it will safeguard the goals of education in university. The goals of education in university is to ensure people educated. It means that the university need to make them have a critical thinking and problem solving, for example. This problem solving and critical thinking is really important for us, not only so that we can live a good life, right? So we can solve the problem in our life, and the impact of this critical thinking is really important, right? So you learn this critical thinking through learning theory, and then you solve problem for your exam. In that exam, you will try to solve something that you don't know. When you don't know something and you try to solve it, it will trigger the activation of your brain. That's why you will improve your critical thinking skills. But in the when you only internship, what will happen? Most likely, first you get more. There's a chance of you get exploited by this company, right? Like you are told to do something that is not relevant with your major, for example, like making coffee or etc. Even if you're not forced to do that, you're gonna be assigned to like a job or task that you master, right? For example, you from statistics, you are giving job to do later. You're giving a job to do like a simple Excel things. You're not gonna allow to do. You're not gonna allow to do something that really hard where you learn, where you need to learn first. So because of this, you only do something that you already master. You're not gonna getting this critical thinking skills, where it is important for you and for you later. So moving into my second argument, why internship or fellowship is not suitable method. Okay, for the end of the semester example, internship meaning you jump directly into this workplace, right? So first, it's not all university material can adapt to internship or fellowship. Different major, different things to learn. Like this, and in university, the characteristic is this subject taught little by little, and then got advanced more and more, right? For example, if like I'm from mathematics education, from semester 1 until 5, I learned math. Like firstly, I learned basic math and then advanced math, and then semester 5 to 6, I learned how to teach it. And then semester 7, I started to learn to internship, right? So it have their chronological order. But what will happen in your mechanism if you use this internship? It means that later, at like the first semester, you are like forced to intern. But what you can intern with algebra, for example, there's no a place for internship, that right? Like if you say that you can internship on the school, for example, we already have the place for that at the time allocated for that. Second, the why this internship is not justified, it's just because not suitable. Okay, so in internship, you are only the object parameter of scoring is not objective, right? If you are supervised with people where he is also like working, he's also like working, they busy, so they're not gonna focus on supervising you, and so that they won't give you a just score. So there's no objective definition of are you succeeding doing your internship or not. And this comparatively in the exam, real exam, you pass if you do good on your exam or getting 100, or if you pass this lecture, like you do your research good, for example. So in this exam and capstone project, there's already an exact and objective value mechanism. So because we already show you how this is really important, and it's not principally just, we proud to oppose. Thank you.
I thank the member of opposition for the speech. Next, I call upon the government whip, Kirkir.
Check. All right, I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. First thing first, I would like to do a rebuttal from the whole opening opposition. They state that no mechanism, no country applied. We already provided that the real example like Politeknik and also a diploma that has great success and also prepared a good job for the university students. They already prove us that they are the university students. I mean that is already enough. That is already ready to face the world about the right world, right? So that they also say that the written exam or score can do parameter, but what will happen to professor who wants to manipulate and take the control for your hard work is a essay or journal, and also there one also parameter accreditation that makes university raise the score for university student and hide their real score for the cause of higher general accreditation. They can take this, ladies and gentlemen. And also, we strongly believe that experience is the best teacher, right? By the diversity of the university students, we believe that internship as the real time that can hone the university students, their critical thinking itself is the best way to do, because not every student is just understanding the written letter or the written lesson that what I mean. Sometimes they need to understand more by doing something or doing that kind of the lesson, ladies and gentlemen. And also they stated that the internship can lower the quality in university in the student. If the student's not ready yet, we believe that the all university student is already get all about the lesson about how to work well in some of the company itself, right? So that also the student is not being just released as well by the university, just going to the hotel for the tourism students for EG, but there is no supervisor. No, the university is give the supervisor for the university students to look at them and also to guide them and also to get the feedback from the company later. And also we believe that everyone is different in their knowledge, right? For EG we have an artist family. For example, is Okistan Dewi, that is the first children that is focused on religion, and the second one is Dr. Cindy as the second children that is focused on medical, that is right now become as doctor, and also Ria Ricis as the last students or the last siblings at their family focus on entertainment that is focused on develop her YouTube, like what I mean. Then how we can force that different people, or I mean that different siblings or family to be evaluated at the same major for the same goals, ladies and gentlemen. So that's we believe that the opposition bench cannot win this debate. And also the extension from the OG, we believe that the internship has a good impact for develop the skills of the university students, but also we believe that the internship itself can develop the connection or the relation of the university students, because after they are already do the internship itself, they can have much of the relations to find a job in the later or after they are graduate, ladies and gentlemen. So that we believe that we are better than our opening government, ladies and gentlemen. Go on. The extensions for my first speakers. My first speaker stated that bring more. Today's motion is bring more benefit after graduate university students. We believe that what the company needs is the skills that is suitable with a job vacancy, right? Then and how then the students hone their skills if they are only focused on just studying for preparing their written skills. For e.g. hospitality industry students at tourism university that always focus on doing their written test at their room, and then surprisingly surprised they get confused when going to the real work jobs. Now then how they can manage the welcoming guests after welcoming the guest as the front desk if he already invited to work at the hotel, ladies and gentlemen. He only study because he only studies the lessons or the written lessons without or never practice it before, ladies and gentlemen. Go on. Not only that, how can they find a job without only without the relations? Because we believe that one of the way to find a job in nowadays is other than the skill is the relations, right? And one of the way is to spread or find a good relation is by doing the internship. For e.g., a teacher that doing the internship much of the time, not only PPL or magang that what opposition state or at one school take more chance to be called by the school itself if the teacher herself is doing good at that schools. And also will ask for the teacher, will be asked to teach for more time, not only in the internship itself, because the teacher herself is already doing a good way at the internship time, I mean. And also, even if the school is already full of the teacher, at least the teacher has the relations with other teacher that can help the teacher to find an information about the school that is looking for a teacher that is related to related to the teacher themselves. They cannot find. We believe that they cannot find if they only focus on study at their room at the room, right? Because of the written task, I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we believe that either than repeating the lesson for written exam, it's better for them to understanding how the world actually run by understanding them, how hard to find money for continuing their life. Thus, they also get understanding about the study seriously, so that they can face the world easily, ladies and gentlemen. Because we stand for uphold the university students to get job easily and get much experience. Proud to propose. Thank you.
All right, I thank the government whip for the speech. Now to close round 5, I call upon Upwhip here.
First, respond to what the closing government said. First, they said under their side there is connection rather than exam that happen under our side. Response. This is not exclusive because connection can also be made when there is no internship itself. Connection can be made outside the internship, like competition, study exchange, like many others in status quo right now that already provided by the government itself. This can even better under our side because once you apply to that mechanism, they will be super busy with the internship that they have to do that every semester, that their connection will only be limited to their major related only. Unlike under our side, we can have a bunch of diverse connection that can be happen like under the study exchange, etc. And secondly, they said that not many students can do exam. Response. If CG telling you this, meaning there is no meaning again for you in the university. The point of you being in the university is that you learn the theory and then there's internship that can be done in 7 semester, for example, like not be done in every semester. And their second speaker said that experience is the best teacher, and not every student know how to do the written exam, etc. Exactly. This is the point of university. University teach you like the basic of how you should think, how you should process this discussion when you're doing the journal or thesis with your lecturer, and how that process can change your perspective and the way you think and perceive the world based on your major, right? And thirdly, they said that they said that under our side, people can desperate to get job. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily make this mechanism to make the student guaranteed to get the job under government side, because the job they're having in the internship is not guaranteed, right? The institution have limited seat for the job and qualification to meet for the student. So this is not guaranteed. This is not exclusive under your side. Like they also question us like how us find job. Like this is simple because there is internship accessible everywhere under our site, even without having to do this every semester. It is even conditional for the student. Thus, it is more flexible and up to student when they want to do that because they might to achieve something else. For example, like even before the evaluating of at the end of semester, but for example, they want to publish in journal, like etc. Like this is the most important thing in the university because internship under our site are not tied with evaluation. Thus, there will be there also because they will not be this possibility of they not gonna they're gonna fail in this evaluation if they are in the internship. So all of their benefit are not exclusive, are not benefited, and also will be harmed. That's why CG will not win. So moving to OG. OG said that to prefer effectively to work in the future, there's already internship under our site, but not in the form of evaluation. Also, like it can be done in like 7 semesters, for example, so this cannot be effectively. Secondly, they said that they have to know the application in real life. Response. This can harming because it is potentially lead to them not graduating because the parameter are graduating, what they would assess is still blurry. OG did not explain this because on internship, you give a lot of your graduating matters to the people in the office, but they don't know what the parameter to make you graduate. For example, you're majoring in technique, but people in the office doesn't really care about the theory. They only care about the practical, for example. So when you're actually good at the theory, but quite bad at the practical, this will be dangerous for your graduate thing. You won't be able to graduate even if the institution of internship knows what the parameter and be supervised. This is still supervised by the lecturer. This is still bad because the assessor is not the lecturer, right? The assessor is still the people from that institution of internship. They are not coming from education background like IE lecturer itself that know how to make RPS, for example, that can create and assess how students should be thoroughly assessed. And these internship institutions are basically people coming from corporate thing that are forced to assess student evaluation, not to mention this is done at the end of semester. That is very crucial for the student to graduate. Secondly, they say that 2 weeks is enough for internship. This is not effective. If you want to thoroughly evaluate the practical that from the theory, this wouldn't be enough because this is obviously you cannot just make the whole semester practically into 2 weeks only. Why? Because in order to coherently infusing your theoretical to practical, like in one of the course itself, you need months to do all of the sub theory into the practical. Thirdly, they said about their benefit about effectiveness, employee problems, collaboration, etc. This can happen under our site. Even better because there is already like PKL in the RPS in each major that is compulsory to take in the paper or essays. They can also collaborate with the lecturer or friends. Even in written exams itself, before they do the exam, there must be collaboration in terms of study together. Things like that already happen massively in the status quo. So OG will not win because they did not even engage with the worst case scenario, and so we already destroy all of their cases. Yes.
You said provide alternate alternative about student action, and student action is type of fellowship. So you prove our point. And how do you answer our burden about Indonesia 1 to your job requirement? You said that there are major with a practical, but not all major.
Okay, I will continue. I will respond to that later. To my extension, to OG, to OO. Why OO is below CO? They're saying that cheating is not exist. Because that is respond to what the OG said, but we will say that yes, it is exists because, and we do not deny that because cheating exists under both sides. So on government, they still can cheat, right? Because there must be also assessment in form of the practicality, like study case, how will it applicate in the real life? They still can cheat, but this is much worse on government because there who's assessing is the one that coming from, not the one that coming from education background, so they will be much more likely to loosen up the rule for the students, for example, so there not much possibility for assertiveness when they are assessing for study in the internship. So going to my extension, like about what the first speaker said about it can shifting the viewpoint of the students. Like didn't even explain this. This will see university. They will see a university only as a place to work. Well, this technically not wrong, but this idea harming the continuation and real intention of what university is, because university is not supposed to get students into capitalizations, because not all major are belong to capitalistic. For example, for major that is very for example, like for a major like very theoretical, like sociology, for example, they might not necessary to do that internship at the very end of semester because what they need is more like case study, like exam that can assess their knowledge, or even papers that important for their major to invest in for the continuation for the research study to apply what they learn in university. Even if it people that major from the company later, it will still bad because they will not have researcher under their side.
All right, I think the opposition wait for the speech. Yeah, so that marks the end of the round 5. Yay. Okay, so now you can stand up, cross floor, shake hands, and yeah, you can wait outside while the judges need at the maximum 20 minutes to deliberate our decision. Thank you so much, guys, for the debate. Yay.